I just started to watch YouTube 30 minutes early. That's like a big program. I got the people on YouTube broadcast and so on. Yeah, kind of like the TV station too. I see. Unfortunately, this is disappointing that you won't be able to really hear anything because all the audio is going to the interface and going up to the screen. So you're just going to hear me talking from this end. But that being said, you're going to hear what I'm saying. And And what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Shred Geek. Oops, wrong button. So good evening, and I can't really see what's going on my screen. Mad Raj and Osh Josh, yo, what's up? What's going on, guys? How you guys doing? I'm actually trying something new and exciting today. I've actually got a Instagram live going on at the same time, but unfortunately they're only going to hear the acoustic, they're only going to hear the acoustic section of, well, the portion of me actually speaking. So anything else going on,
like if I talk like the Hulk,
or if I play my guitar or whatever, they're not going to hear it. Well, they're just going to hear my voice. They're not going to be able to hear all the effects or the reverb or anything like that. So you guys got the full production value, including the intro and the animations and the whole bit. So and of course the audience. So how's everyone doing? My voice has been dry. I don't know, something about this studio. Whenever I get up here and I actually get the cameras rolling, or if I start doing some stuff and start talking, my voice just dies. My voice just dies. Cheers. So, what mic? This mic here, this is a Rode NT1, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it's a Rode NT1. I actually bought it for doing some vocals and stuff on for songs and productions and stuff. But I haven't gotten my voice ready for that yet. So since it was just sitting there collecting dust and really not getting much use, I decided to use it for the podcast and for the webcast and so forth. The live streams. So It's getting some use now, and I had it came with the mount and everything else. I figured I'll just go ahead and get the arm for it mounted to the desk, and we should be good to go. Looks pretty cool, and it actually sounds pretty awesome too. So, kind of adjust it here. The mic, I bought the mic with a. It was some kind of like a kit package. It came with the mount and a few other things or whatever. Didn't come with a cable, but it came with a whole bunch of other stuff, you know, like the mount and the windscreen, which I took off today. And I think it was like $220, $230. I don't remember if I got it from local Guitar Center or if I got it from Amazon. I forget which. Hello, Instagram. How you doing? So I've got Instagram on my phone running over here on this side, so I'm going to have to hire a studio hand to help bring me water and stuff. So we had some nice weather today, finally. I mean, it's been like crappy rain here locally last few days. And my kids are on spring break this week, so I had the house to myself, so I've been working on some projects for the YouTube channel and so forth. And so I spent like a chunk of time in studio today working on a song, and today was Thursday, Wednesday, and a decent chunk on Tuesday. I was working on trying to finish up hey Ben Combs, what's up? What's going on? Welcome to the webcast. Spent a bit of time working on the review for my Nita Strauss Jiva 10, the Ibanez signature model. And that was an adventure because I'm really trying to do it. I'm really taking it all to the nines and trying to up my game in the whole review department. So I really wanted to do all the things I've never done before with a review. And I've done some things that you've never seen in a review before too, I don't think. So stay tuned for that. I've actually got I finally finished the editing the file last night, probably around midnight or so, or this morning technically. And yeah, man, thanks for joining. Eat up, enjoy. So let me take the reverb down. Kind of annoying. So yeah, I was up till about 12:30, 1 o'clock working on that review for the Nita Strauss signature model. Came in at just under 8 minutes, which I was actually pretty proud of because with all the stuff I threw in there, I really figured it was going to run a good 18 minutes. But with some editing and a few other things or whatever, I really did a good job. I got it down to about just under 8 minutes, and it really covered all the bases with the guitar. I got some humor in there, a little tongue-in-cheek, a couple of broken glasses here and there, so it's all good. It's all good. And I've already got all the video footage already recorded for my Jason Becker model and also the 7-string Kiesel. So I've already got those all recorded, and I just got to work on the music that I'm going to do for the webcast. I mean, for the review, the playthrough part. So, congratulations, Madaraj. I put gas in there because I've been gassing pretty hard. Yesterday I stopped at a music store I haven't been in a number of years, and it turns out they're a Mesa dealer. And I walked in there and they had like everything in stock. It was crazy, and I was there. I was probably there about an hour and a half, and I picked up a Charvel off the wall. It was one of those bright orange ones, Pro Mod something or other. And I plugged it into all these different Mesas, and I left, and I was like, man, I've got so much gas right now. It's not even funny. So, I mean, I plug and here's the thing with me and Mesa is I've actually I've had like a love-hate relationship with Mesa for a long time. Before I go any further with that, Madaraj, congratulations on your new guitar. An Epiphone LE Malia RD. Is that like that same, it's almost like a Firebird type shape? this on this side. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Nice. Okay, yeah. It's not a Firebird shape exactly, but it's got that angled kind of look. It's not a Les Paul and it's not a Flying V or a SG. It's that other Gibson shape that they have, or a couple of the other ones like the Explorer or whatever. Excuse me. That's awesome. Yeah, those are pretty hot looking. I'm guessing it's not relic at all, is it? So I plugged in while I was at that music store. I plugged into a Mesa Mach 5 25. Cool. Yeah, Mesa throttle box. I haven't tried one because they probably have one at that store I was at yesterday, but I wasn't looking at pedals. I was just standing there, just like my mouth just fell open looking at all the amps that they had. And they had a whole slew of Charvels. They even had the Adrian Smith Jackson, the signature one. Okay, cool. That's awesome. And so I plugged into a Mesa 525, the head. And I also plugged into I've actually played through a few. And like rectifiers I can't play for some reason. They just feel flubby in my fingers. Like I just need some kind of a, I don't know how to describe it. Like there's this pushback I get, with a Marshall type of amp, with that type of gain structure. I get like this crunchiness or something that just kind of pulls back, and I respond to that when I play. And it, my pick attack, my palm muting, and everything works really well with that. Mesas don't have that. It's the way their gain is structured or the cascaded or whatever. It feels different to me, so I don't get that pushback. So then my technique feels off. I feel like I'm sloppy or whatever. It doesn't flow like it normally would. So, but years ago, I actually had an extensive Mesa setup. I had a couple of cabinets with a Mesa 20 by 20 rack mount power amp that I used with a rack mount preamp and everything, and it just sounded amazing. But I downsized and I got rid of it all. Yeah, they're very expensive here too. I mean, this stuff here I was looking at was like crazy money, crazy expensive. So then I also played a man. What the heck's up with this dang thing? So then I also played a Triple Crown, the 50 watt. That was actually really nice. Well, actually, on that, I'll get to that in a minute, Raj. So then after the Triple Crown, but the funny thing is the Triple Crown actually had EL34s, which had that sponginess thing that I like. But all the other ones, I guess, are either EL84 or 6L6 based or whatever. And then I turned around and I also had a John Petrucci JP2C or 2C JP or whatever it is. And I played that, and that thing was really freaking nice. So I've been gassing between like the Petrucci one, or the other one, the Mach 5 25. They had a Mach 35 there also, but I didn't play it. I just ended up playing the 25 because I'm like, well, they're gonna be the same. Just it's got more wattage, but turns out it's got a few other things that the 25 doesn't have. So I might have to go back there tomorrow. And then while I was there, they also had a Mark Tremonti, the MT-15, the lunchbox head by Paul Reed Smith. That thing is insane. I mean, it's like the Dark Terror turned up another 5 notches, plus a clean channel that's just absolutely godly clean. It's unreal, and it's loud as loud as that. So I was thinking I was actually going to have an unboxing for you tonight because I almost bought something from the store, but I resisted greatly. Now I'm not sure which way I want to get. If I want to just sit tight, because I'm like, if I get the Mark Tremonti one, it's not super expensive, but gain wise, I've kind of covered the same ground or similar ground with the Dark Terror, and clean sound I don't necessarily need because since I'm recording, I mean I could always record clean on a separate track, so that's not a problem. Yeah, but on the tightness, Mad Raj, on the tightness for the Mesa amps, you don't really have them unless you get into the like the Mach series, like the newer ones, like the 25, the 35, the Mach 5, and the Petrucci one. They have this extreme mode that actually like tightens it up, but you only get that on like one of the gain channels, or well, on the smaller ones, there's only one gain channel and a clean channel. But the on the like the Petrucci one, you have those 3 channels, and I don't know what they did to the way that amp is set up. The amp really is got this real tightness, and it's got that real crunchy. And it's funny because it's got the same tube complement, I guess, as like the other Mach amps, but it just has more. To me, it has a little bit more of that Marshall character that just vibes with my playing. I mean, I don't know. Like I could probably plug into a Soldano and just be in absolute heaven. Which has me thinking about the Synergy amps too. Those little modules. Oh man, it's crazy sick too. So many amps, so little time, so little money, right? Anyone? Hello. Hi, Instagram. Oh well, they're not. I guess they're sleeping right now. So. So yeah, my G.A.S has been the whole Mesa amp thing right now. So, and I've been like looking at manuals and stuff, and just contemplating the whole Mesa thing. I'm kind of torn between the Mach 5 25, the head, or that Petrucci one, but that's like double the price too. So I don't know. It is what it is. I mean, I got a bunch of stuff already here in the studio. Probably be okay. But the Mach Tremonti one too would be pretty snazzy. And either way, I could get another review out of it too, so that'd be kind of cool. So we'll see. Maybe I'll stop there tomorrow and maybe I'll come home with something. We shall see. So I worked on that Nina Strauss video, and that should go up live on Monday morning. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to debut a new intro, new format to my video, the reviews. Excuse me. Got some sound effects and whatnot, a little bit of humor. Overall, the production quality is considerably higher. I'm sorry, excuse me. And, hello. Hey, Josh, I am. How you doing? So yeah, the production value on it has been increased considerably, and video games. Hi Muba, how you doing? No, we're not streaming video games. We're talking music stuff and recording stuff and video stuff, I guess, for YouTube. But thanks for joining. Hello Josh, how you doing? Sorry you can't hear the whole kit and caboodle, but I mean you're getting 80% of it as it is, so rock on. So in case you missed it, we were just talking about my upcoming YouTube video I'm going to be releasing on Monday morning on my YouTube channel. So hit my profile and then click on my YouTube channel on the link tree thing that's in my profile, and then you could link to it and you could subscribe and hit the bell notification, all that good stuff. So got the Lapina gallery over there. So yeah. So anyway, so I began working on another song for the Jason Becker video. I'm gonna be working on. I've already got it all recorded. I got to work on the song now for the playtest. And incidentally, on the Nita video, I never got to do a song. I began working on one, but it just wasn't happening. So I just did I just noodled around, did some cleans and did some dirty and did some leads or whatever. So we just left it at that. But But for the Jason Becker, I've actually got a song going. I've actually got the song done. I mean, I just started it. I think I actually sat down around 3 o'clock this afternoon, and by 5, I was done with it, and then had to run an errand or eat something, or I forget what I did. Came back upstairs, and I had forgotten the main riff, which kills me. I was so upset. I had already laid out all the drums, and I hadn't recorded the guitars yet, which I'm really upset that I didn't, because now I forgot the main riff. I mean, I know the chord changes and everything else, but that main riff was just really, really cool. Real shreddy. It was really, really awesome. And I got the gist of it, but it's not the same. I'm like, what the hell did I do wrong? I'm pissed off. But I'm going to sit there, I'm going to re-record it, I'm going to add, rhythm guitars and all that other stuff. So then I got to sit there and record the bass and then do the whole mix-up correctly. And then I'll do a live track with the camera rolling, with the video camera rolling, so that you'll see me actually playing it live, on the video. So, and then I got to work on one for the 7-string. That's going to be fun, because I'm not a 7-string player, or I really haven't had a 7-string before. So, yeah, we're definitely guitar nerds, Ben, and so it's going to be like interesting. So, cool. Let's see here.
Have you guys seen the trailer for Endgame yet?
Okay, that's kind of geeky. I'm actually thinking maybe I'll go watch what is that Captain Marvel. I may go watch it this weekend. I haven't been out to the theaters out in a few days or whatever, so a few weeks actually, no, a few days. So maybe I'll go out there this weekend. But I've just been kind of like locked up in the house, just studio stuff, cleaning up around the house or whatever, enjoying the peace and quiet with the kids on spring break. So it's all been good. Yeah. Don't think I have anything else. Oh, you know what? Let me go grab my guitar real quick. Hold on. Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. Ben, who's the beauty? Captain Marvel or the guitar? Yeah, definitely. Hello. Is the guitar coming out okay on the live stream? Ben, this is actually it's a floating bridge. It's a Kiesel hip shot design for a headless guitar. Probably can't see it on the So you've got, I've got my tuner on there. It's the only place it'll fit. So you've got headless up here, and it's actually like recessed. And it's recessed out in the bottom, underneath the bridge there. So. Actually, this is the second headless Becker. So they have the regular Jason Becker signature model, the JB 200C, and then they have the other one that they did, which I think they've discontinued now, which was the the one that was modeled after the Strat he had in high school, which was basically like a Stratocaster guitar. They threw a humbucker in the bridge. I think a couple of single coils or whatever, and they put his little nameplate thing on the headstock or whatever, and that was his, like, I forget what they called it, the Perpetual Burn, I think is what they called that one. Then they did a regular version of the Numbers guitar, which was like a replica of the one he had by Paradise Guitars back in the early 90s, mid 90s, which the company eventually went out of business. And then Carvin at the time, now Kiesel, bought the rights to that particular design because it was trademarked or copyrighted because of all the multicolors and the big numbers on the inlays and stuff. So Kiesel bought those rights, and then they decided to make a replica of that exact guitar, which is basically a swamp ash body, no finish, the maple neck, maple fingerboard, the big giant multicolored inlays, the multicolored Kiesel logo, the whole thing. And they did that one, so you could get either of those guitars on Kiesel's website right now. And then when they started doing headless guitars back, I don't know, 3 years ago, their first one was called the Vader, which was a neck-through design. And they decided to do a limited edition run of Becker numbers guitars in the Vader platform. So you have a headless Vader version with this, just like this guitar here, and then they went ahead and did more recently I should say, the Osiris, which is is the bolt-on design, which you can see the 4-bolt pattern on the back, and right above the bolts you can see got the little hand sign and numbering of the guitar by Jeff Kiesel. Mine's 48 out of 100 because they're only going to build 100. Cool. Yeah, you know what's funny? I mean, we all have different tastes in guitars and so forth. And for the life of me, I really enjoy like a Strat shape. But Tellys, for some reason, I just never really, I guess it's more the neck than the body. But it could be the body too because it's kind of squarish. But I'll be honest, I haven't really played a lot of Tellys before. So maybe I'm just kind of turned off by the look, maybe. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe you got like shredderific guys like was it John 5 that plays them, and then you've got, what's his name? Jim Root. He also plays Tellys as well. So I mean, they're both shredtastic dudes. So I mean, it's probably just a matter of the player and not so much the guitar. So. You're right. It would be boring if we all played the same guitars and everything else. I'm surprised no one's asked me yet what I'm playing through. See who's going to be the first one to ask me. Kramer was huge in the 80s. They were huge in the 80s. That was like the guitar to get back in the early mid 80s, you know, the whole Eddie Van Halen thing and everything. I remember those days well. I had a friend of mine in high school. He had a Kramer. He had a Kramer in high school. He was in school band. I was in school band. I had a BC Rich. Actually, it's right over there. It's retired. It's like in parts right now. I guess he couldn't afford like the big dollar Kramer model for the, you know, like Eddie Van Halen had. So he got like one of their entry level ones, which was still a nice guitar, but the neck was really, really like fat. It was almost like an old C-shaped Strat neck. And I want to say the headstock was similar to that too, because it wasn't the angled, and it had like just Kramer like in black letters on it or whatever. And Mockingbirds are pretty cool. I've got a BC Rich. Mine's a Strat shape, but I've never had like the Warlock. I've always wanted a Warlock. Maybe one day I'll have to get one. But Mockingbirds are really badass too. And but I mean, like, yeah, Kramer was like, you know, like that was the one that I knew someone else that had it, but the guy had Bucks, and he was a big popular local band, and he had a Focus, I think is what he had, because he was like that real super Strat type. It wasn't the Eddie Van Halen one. It was a bit more robust and a bit more. Eddie Van Halen is more like stripped down, more like, you know, bare bones, I guess, just like with the one pickup and the Floyd Rose or whatever. This guy's had the Floyd Rose. They had like the multiple pickups and 5-way switch. The whole had a thick ass body, if I remember it correctly too. Don't know what it was made of though. So right now I'm running out of my 11 rack. Just a custom preset I made. Right, exactly. You know, humbuckers, 2 single coil, super Strat. Running on the 11 rack, just a custom preset I made. I think it's using like a Bogner model with a tube screamer in front of it or something with, like, you know, delays and reverb and So, let's see. So I've got the review coming up on Monday. You know which guitar from the 80s I fondly remember, and you don't see it at all? I think there's one guy that I've seen playing it still. He's a young guy. He's a young shred beast. Unbelievable guitar player. I've seen him live, and I've got 2 of his albums. He's really, really awesome. All right, Ben. Hey, thanks a bunch for hanging out. You guys have a great night. Thanks for hanging out, and stay tuned for more shows. It's Ethan Brosh, and he has the Fender. You remember the HM Strat? It was like it was by Fender, and it was a, you know, like one of those, it was a super Strat, basically, but by Fender. So it had like a super Strat body. I'm guessing it was probably made by, like, you know, the guys in like Jackson or Charvel or whatever. I'm not sure if this is around the time that Fender bought those guys or bought Kramer. They also own Kramer, don't they? Yeah. No, actually, Kramer is owned by Gibson, I think, now. But I think back in those days, I think they actually were bought by Fender. You know who would know? I bet you the Tone King would know. Thanks, Ben. Appreciate that. For my live shows in the future, I'm gonna probably do more of an organized agenda, so to speak, where I'll have more of a be more on topic. This is more of like a freestyle, like I put in the title, and I want to talk about my gas because I had gas, the gear acquisition syndrome, not the other kind of gas. I didn't have any Mexican food today. Actually, I did have Mexican food. I take that back, but I'm not gaseous, so that's a good thing. Hi, Instagram. Yeah, actually, I made some fajita chicken with some brown rice and the peppers and onions or whatever, all that good stuff. Didn't eat with a tortilla. Just ate it like right off of one of those meal prep containers. I do meal prep and stuff. Try to eat healthy and doing all that fitness garbage and stuff. So I'm going to leave this live stream up on my YouTube channel. Some of the other ones I've done recently, like the ones since the beginning of the year, since I was really still kind of like testing and playing around with settings and equipment and stuff. I think I've kind of got everything pretty much finalized and how I want it. So I just have a few minor tweaks to do, but I'm at the point where I think I'm able to run with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to come up with like a show schedule and an agenda to come up with content on a regular basis to do in the live stream that will complement and supplement. And I got to figure out what the hell the problem is with this poppingness today. You know what? Maybe it's because I don't have the pop filter on. Hold on a second. Oops. Hold, please. As we pause the show for check 1 2. Oh, what a difference. Look at that. This damn thing is huge, though. Ugh. Okay, you know what? Let me try it this way. Oh, crap. Was that? Here it is, right here. Check 1 2. Hey, I think I like that better. Learning something new every day. Can you hear me okay? Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Aha! I can't believe what a difference this little pop screen makes. Wow. So getting back to the whole live show thing. So I'll come up with a show schedule and the thanks, Madraj. Yeah. I guess this pop filter prevents the pops. I mean, oddly enough, right? So I'm gonna come up with an agenda and a schedule for the show, and I'm gonna try to do the show on a regular basis. I don't know if I'll start off every week. Maybe I'll do it every other week to start off with and kind of get my feet wet and get it going and stuff. But what weeknight or what weekday, weekend, day, whatever, would probably make more sense for a webcast. And I'm going to be upfront right now. I'm not going to step on anyone's toes. I know Tone King has a regular deal he does, and I'm not sure if Rob Baker or Steve from Boston do a regular schedule on their live stuff or not. So I definitely don't want to because I know I've got some viewers of mine who watch them as well. And I don't want to be causing people to choose one way or the other. So wanted to go ahead and try to be diplomatic about it or whatever, try to figure out what would be a good day. So if you're watching this on the replay off my YouTube channel, then go ahead and comment down below what day would be best for you to attend a live webcast. But if you do have anything that you want to comment on or ask from the show and you didn't catch it live, comment down below. I'm at the point now where I can pretty much answer just about all the questions or address all the comments relatively expediently, at least within a day or so. So the volume hasn't gotten quite up that high yet, so we're still good. Things get really, really crazy later on. That might be a different story. But for now, let's roll with it. Yeah, so that's why I actually thought about doing it last night, but I was actually running behind schedule with since I was in the studio for so long during the day, and I had all my equipment in here, all the lights, and well, I got the lights in front of me now, but I mean, I had the camera set up, and all the other stuff was all out every which way, had cables every which way from doing the stuff, and I'm like, I still have to do my workout and everything else, and I'm like, ugh, this isn't gonna work because I'm not gonna have enough time unless I'm gonna end up doing a workout at like midnight, and that's not gonna be healthy or wise in any way. So I was like, let me just go ahead and I'll do the workout and I'll just do the work, do the webcast for Thursday. And then when I thought of it on Thursday morning, I was like, you know what, let me go ahead and go on there and schedule it. Because this way people will know, and anyone who subscribes to me or otherwise is watching or whatever, or is aware, then they'll get a notification that, hey, I'm going to go live tonight. So maybe they can put us some time aside to tune in. So had a good turnout for today. So I appreciate everyone coming and hanging out. So not last weekend. Was it last weekend? Today's the 4th. No, it was 2 weeks ago. So, Wednesdays might work good for me because Wednesdays I'm actually off from work on my work week when I'm working. So I'll be off on Wednesday. So Wednesday nights might be okay. I could probably do Wednesdays. So I'll definitely keep that in mind. Yeah, I think the Fridays would be really, really tricky because when I do work on Fridays, I don't get out till about 9 Central, and then by the time I get home and wind down a little bit and have something to eat, and then have to sit there and set everything up in studio for the live stream, I probably wouldn't be able to get on till almost 10:30 or so, and I'd hate to schedule for 10 Central because that's already 11 o'clock on the East Coast. And then if I'm going to end up running late, then I'm going to look like the big jerk. So I think Fridays, and plus not to mention like the Tone King and some of the other guys will go on Friday nights or whatever, and even Saturdays too. So to me, Fridays and Saturdays, unless I specifically know they're going to be offline, then I'll probably just pick another day during the week because my schedule is flexible. So. Got my little groupies from the Peanut Gallery. And this was cool. So what did you think of the intro? The intro for the live webcast. I think I actually did a test with it last week. But I don't think anyone tuned into it, or if they did, there was like only 1 or 2 people. But I didn't keep it live. I just went ahead and took it offline after the webcast because I was just testing some stuff, including I wanted to see if the intro thing was going to work correctly. Actually, I've got my setup seems to be pretty quiet today. Kind of impressed. So it's a good thing. Test 1, 2. Oh no, Mataraj, I'm talking about the one that's got the like the title screen that comes up with the little lasers shooting all around. That one. That's what I'm referring to. The other stuff is just the like the in between. So like what I end up doing is I've got like the lead in stuff, which is basically just people that just like a placeholder. So if I've got people that are tuning into the webcast, like I've been on webcasts before where like 10 o'clock comes around and you're waiting for the host to come in or the show to start, and you're like, well, do they forget? Do they have problems or whatever? So what I can do, what I've decided to do is have these placeholder type deals that show like the incoming broadcast or whatever. Oh, well, the countdown thing is just basically kind of like, oh, wake up, we're getting ready to start. So, because the other thing just sit there and flashes nonstop, just incoming broadcast or whatever, blah, 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 standby, whatever. So, I mean, I'll probably start like 10 minutes before the webcast will begin or scheduled to begin. And I'll actually start that just so people know, okay, he's coming. It's going to be, he should be on time. And then when the time comes, I'll just hit that thing for the countdown. And then when the countdown finishes, then I just launch the intro. But the intro is the one I was talking about, yeah. Econ. Yeah, that's just more of the actual intro thing I was referring to was the one that's got the title screen with the little blips flying around the screen and then exploding into the logo. That was, I think that's only like 15 seconds tops, not even. And I've got two new ones that are going to show up in my YouTube video Monday, and the Nita Strauss signature model review. That's going to come up. That's going to be the first time you guys see it. I don't think I've shown it yet. In my teaser, I kind of showed a quick screenshot of one. Actually of both, but you never got to see the whole thing. So it was just a teaser. So you'll see the whole thing on Monday. I'm afraid to change a preset because they're not all balanced. So I'm afraid then, since it's not balanced, I might change a preset and it'll be like one will be super loud. Actually, if you want to DM me, I'll tell you what I did. I didn't make it, but I'll tell you what I did and how I got it. I'll put you in contact. I had someone make it for me. But it's really, really cool. And there's, I had a plethora of different choices to pick from, so those are the ones I ended up going with. So yeah, it's really cool. No, you can't be a master. You can't do everything. You gotta find other people to do stuff for you. So, I mean, it's all about outsourcing and delegating when you need to delegate, because there's only so many hours in the day. You can't do it all, especially if you want to take over the world. Hey, Instagram, what's up? Just terrible. Just terrible. I just remembered something. Hold on. Excuse me. Pardon me. Excuse me. So this week, actually last week, or the week before, I don't know, I picked me up a GoPro. This is the GoPro 7 Hero 7 Black. I figured it'll come in handy to do some of the guitar videos. And I said, well, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to need to get a mount for it to fit on the guitar or whatever. So I go on Amazon. And I search music. You know, I guess the GoPro mount is called the Jam. Though I don't think they're made anymore, so I don't know. Because they have the other one, which is like that big. It's called G.A.S, and it's got like that big giant ass clamp that with that gooseneck thing or whatever. But it's such a tight clamp. I've heard that it can damage finishes, or if you put it on the neck of a guitar, depending on the thickness of the neck, it's possible it might cause some damage to the headstock or whatever. So I'm like, okay, I don't need to do that one. So I look it up and I find out that they had one called the Jam, which had an adjustable clamp on it. You could tighten it by hand or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And it was adjustable. You could angle it in whichever way. So I was like, okay, that sounds cool. So I went ahead and I searched Amazon for it, and I purchased one. But apparently I didn't purchase the actual GoPro one. I purchased this piece of garbage, which is basically the same exact thing. Oh my God, it's actually... All right, so I'm reading it, and it says Sublime Wear is the name of the company, and underneath it says go-to for GoPro accessories. And then underneath it says musical instrument guitar mount, and then comma, the Jam. And the Jam is actually GoPro's actual mount name. So I'm thinking this is like a cheap knockoff, and they're using the same name or whatever. So I decided to go and check it out, and then I went ahead and I went on to, took it out of the package, and I'm starting to put it all together, and I started tightening it to put the first, I forget what the heck part I was using. Oh, was this one here? Oh, I don't know. I forget which piece it was. So I tighten it down, and then I hear like a little snap. And I'm thinking, okay, well, sometimes when you have a brand new piece of anything, and it's plastic, and it's kind of like firm in a particular position, and you adjust it, and when you do it, you hear it like snap. But it's just more of a friction thing. It's not like it didn't actually break anything, but you broke the tension on it. So now it'll move more freely. Well, that's what I thought I had done. So then I'm trying to tighten the clamp down on it or whatever to attach to one part. It was like a mast or something. And I was trying to attach it in there. And I'm like, okay, this thing is it's not tightening. What's the problem? Then I looked at it up close. And the collar where the tightening happens broke. So the snap I heard wasn't the plastic finally releasing its tension. It actually snapped. And I'm like, I didn't even mount this to a guitar yet, and it's already broken. Piece of crap. So I was very upset. So I still need to go and let Amazon know and talk about a refund or return this garbage or whatever. I don't know. I've just been focused on my other project. So anyway, so then I got really pissed off when that happened. I was like, you know what? Let me go and search online. I got to find this Jam. And that's when I found out it actually has been discontinued. I'm like, well, this really sucks. So I then decide, I kept looking, and then I found B&H Music and Photo or whatever. Sweetwater didn't have any. Guitar Center didn't have any, especially locally. That sucked. So I went ahead and I found on the website for B&H Photo and Music or whatever. They send catalogs. They're kind of like Sweetwater, but they're more, I guess, like photo and whatever. Anyway, so they had one. So I ordered it from them like over a week ago. And I just received it like today, or was it yesterday? It was today. And they sent it by DHL, and then from there they actually sent it to the post office. And they left it in my mailbox, and I'm just thinking, holy freaking crap! I mean, how long does it take to send something like this? I wasn't even like, it was just in a small envelope. It was just in an envelope, you know. And granted, I'm glad I finally got the GoPro mount that I needed. I haven't opened it yet. Hopefully, it doesn't break. But I don't know if I'll ever buy anything from. I mean, their shipping was freaking terrible. It took forever. I mean, Sweetwater, at least, I order something and it's here like in no time. And it's not even like upgraded shipping. Amazon, of course, is just the bomb all around. But they don't carry everything. Especially basis stuff. Back to the basis stuff. Yeah, I have a Zoom headstock mount, but it is heavy and I think it can damage a headstock, so I do not use it. Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I'm probably going to do some stuff with the headstock and probably some with the body, depending on the angle I'm looking for. But mainly just for like my review videos or my playthrough videos and stuff, just to kind of give a different angle. So I didn't want to do that G.A.S clamp, because that thing really looked really intense. And especially with the headless guitars, because there isn't a whole lot of room to mount it. So if you look at the guitar, hey Instagram. So you look at the guitar and you've got like no room up here on the neck at all. And then on the body, I mean, you've got the thick ass body here you could probably mount it to, but you need a pretty wide clamp. You've got some space on the back because it's got that route out underneath the bridge, but you could probably mount it there, so that'd be okay. That would work. But then the hand would probably be blocking most of the angle going up the neck, so I don't know. And it probably, there's too much of a bevel on this side to mount it to where it would be secure. So it's either going to have to be on behind the bridge, on the top horn over here, or at the head, the headless head. So, but I'll worry about that secondary. I'm going to try to get that song finished and get it up recorded to where then I can then work on recording the live take that I'm going to do for the video. So, all right, well, anyone have any questions? I'm going to wrap this up here in a couple of minutes. Any questions, comments, suggestions for future webcasts or reviews or whichever? I'll tell you what, though, if I end up getting a another amp here soon, I'll be definitely doing a video on it. I still need to do a video on my Laney Ironheart IRT Studio, and I really want to do one on my my Jet City. I don't know if you can see it over there. That Jet City's been hardcore modified. Yeah. Yeah, that Jet City's pretty sick. For those of you that have actually heard my song, Anger of the Gods, that Jet City is the amp you hear on the song. I think I double tracked the rhythms and I did 2 leads in some cases where they were harmonized and other parts where they were just doubled. So you have like 4 guitars technically playing on it, I believe, on that song. I'd have to look back at the original project. I think it was only double tracked on the rhythms. But was it all a separate take? That's a good idea, Maharaj. I think I'm gonna write that down. Maybe we'll just start off with maybe the first. Let me write it down. Good idea. Good idea. Gosh, what was I gonna say? And so yeah, so the guitars on it are just that amp. I actually recorded everything as a DI. Then on the mix down part, when I was actually going to record the amp tracks, I then reamped it back out through a direct box to that amp. And then I had an i5, an Audix i5 microphone, and an isolation cabinet, a Randall isolation cabinet with a vintage 30. No, excuse me, I'm sorry. I took the speaker out and put it in my other cabinet. So I actually had a Celestion Heritage 30 in the isolation cabinet, all covered in the Auralex acoustical foam, and the Audix i5 on the speaker. I forget exactly how it was positioned. I think it was at an angle off the cone, and I just reamped it through that, and then recorded it back with that i5 back into my DAW, and then each take was a separate DI, and then just layered it all together, and the gain on it was like 4.5, which is crazy. The amp has so much gain. It is like one of the hottest Soldano type amps you'll ever hear. It's crazy. So anyway, all right, guys. Thanks a bunch for hanging out. This was a really, really good show today, and I think for right now, I'm probably going to look at scheduling, and I'll probably start maybe next Wednesday. Maybe start off with the first show. I'll have to come up with an agenda. But what I'll end up doing is I'll do a schedule notification like I did for this webcast tonight. So if you're subscribed, you should get a notification that I've got a webcast coming up, and it'll show you what time and so forth. And that'll be good. So bring your questions. I got 16 ohm speakers recently. I plan on making 2. Oh, awesome! You're gonna make your own. You're gonna make your own cabinet, or are you gonna just buy the shells and just put the speakers in there, Madaraj? I didn't know PV had. I guess PV makes the speakers for the G.A.S, but they don't even make that anymore, right? Because now the Satriani, it was a Satriani amp, wasn't it? The G.A.S. I can highly recommend Avatar. There's another company out there, and I forget the name of the company, that also makes shells you can buy, and they're super cheap. Yes, okay. So old speakers. So they're probably going to be broken in a little bit. They probably sound really, really good. Sounds like a good deal. I forget the other one. I want to say it was Elite, but I don't remember the name of the other company. They're real inexpensive for their... right. Yeah, it was basically modeled off of the... the Triple X. It was a modified version of the Triple X that PV had. That was, they added a noise gate and a few other things for Joe Satriani. And then he endorsed them for a while, and then he finally went to Marshall. Like they all do. So take a look at Avatar cabinets. They make the best things out there. I've got one. It's solid as... Yeah, definitely. I got the one that looks like the orange. I think it's called the Contemporary. It looks like an orange 2x12. They're real thick, beefy. But they also have more that look like a Marshall. The other ones that look like a Fender or whatever. So you have different styles. But you could probably get a 2x12 without any speakers in it for 200 and change, 220 maybe, depending on which specific model. The Contemporary is a bit more expensive because it's really heavy, and it's got some thick ass birch. I think it's birch that they make it from. But the other ones, like the vintage one, I think is a bit thinner shell. And you could pick the Tolex on it or whatever. You could pick whatever color. Sometimes, yeah, dude, check them out. Now they also do what they call, I forgot what they called it. They do these runs where they'll say, okay, we're going to make 30, of this cabinet, but it's going to be, it's going to have this covering, it's going to have these speakers, blah, blah, blah. But you're going to get them at a discounted price. It's going to be like $75 off what the normal price is. But they're going to make 30 and they're just going to sell those. So if you can jump in on one of those deals when they do it, you're good to go. Because they'll be they'll be out in no time. and you get a discount on it because they're just like mass producing like the same cabinet like 30 times. So I didn't get mine that way. I think I just custom ordered it what I wanted. I wanted the particular grill cloth, and I wanted the logo in a specific area, and I wanted a contemporary look or whatever. If I wanted to do that group buy thing that they were doing, I think it was like the vintage, or it looked like a Marshall cabinet right now, a Marshall type cabinet. But I wanted more the orange, the real beefy look or whatever. So that's what I ended up getting. But yeah, they make great stuff. And if there's speakers, they have a range of speakers called Helitones. Those are Celestion speakers that they've already broken in. They have some kind of a break-in procedure that they do, that they actually break them in, and then they put them in the cabinet. So that's what I ended up getting on mine. I got a Helitone 60 and a Helitone 30. So one was a Celestion 30, Heritage 30. The other one was a Celestion Vintage 30. It's a 60 watt. But now that cabinet, I took the speaker out and I put the Vintage 30 that came in my Randall isolation cabinet, put it inside my Avatar cabinet. I took the Heritage 30 out of that and I put that in my isolation cabinet. Just because I was testing a 100 watt head for a while, and I was afraid I was going to blow the speakers up because one was 60 watts, one was 30 watts. And when you do it that way and the way it's wired, you basically have a 30 watt maximum load that you can run without blowing something up. And I was afraid with 100 watts I was going to do that. So I went ahead and took the isolation cabinet 60 out and put it in there. So this way I had 120 watt handling capacity. So it was all good. Anyway. So, yeah, good luck with that, Mataraj. Go ahead and let me know how that works out for you. And if you have any questions on it, just shoot me a message and let me, and I'll see what I can do to help you out. And that's all I got for today, guys. Thank you so much. Hi, Instagram. Okay, I'm sorry. I was talking to Instagram. So, all right, now let's wrap this up. Thanks so much, guys, for coming and hanging out, and for listening to my mumbo, jumbo, jambo, whatever, and all that funny, cool stuff, and talk about my gas, and and of course, my little freestyle rambling and stuff. So anyway, thinking maybe for next Wednesday I'll kick off the Shred Geek show with an agenda. But if not, possibly the Wednesday after. So stay tuned. I'll have an announcement, or I'll schedule it out before too long. So anyway, guys, thanks a bunch. And if you have any questions, comments, whatever, just shoot it down below in the comments, and I'll address it later on. All right, guys, thanks a bunch. Rock on, and we will catch you later.